Code red. Repeat. We have a code red.
Holy shit.
Michael Saylor just said that Bitcoin will rise from the 8th largest asset in the world to number 1. And in just 48 months.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, that's right. Numero uno. Above gold, above Apple, above Microsoft, above everything. And that's not even the most bullish thing we're covering today because, my friends, the Bitcoin endgame is unfolding before our eyes. A few years ago, I wrote an article predicting how Bitcoin would break the system. And guess what? Saylor, Trump, the EU, and the White House just confirmed it. What if I told you that half a dozen of Trump's own cabinet members hold millions of dollars in Bitcoin? That the US just signed an executive order creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve? That Congress is literally debating a bill to buy 1 million Bitcoin? Oh, and while America is looking at stockpiling freedom, the EU is going full dystopia. They are literally trying to steal people's private savings to fund their CBDC nightmare. So this is the question: Dystopia or Valhalla? We're about to find out. Send it! All right, let's start with Michael Saylor because this is insane. Giga Chad went to Washington, D.C. and flat out said that Bitcoin is on track to become the number 1 asset in the world in just 48 months.
It is the most powerful force in the world right now. It's growing nearly 60%. It's become the 8th largest asset in the world. It's about to become the largest asset in the world in the next 48 months.
48 months, 4 years. Sounds like a term. Gee, I wonder if he knows something. We're talking bigger than gold, bigger than stocks, bigger than real estate, and he didn't stop there. By 2045, Saylor believes Bitcoin will be at $13 million a coin. Let that sink in. Bitcoin's market cap worth hundreds of trillions, the backbone of the economy and financial system. I mean, think about it. 13 million per Bitcoin?
The way to think of it is it's always going to be the stronger capital asset versus a conventional S&P index.
So what's that get us to? With what'd you say, 29% ARR, or what's in 21 years? What is that?
My forecast is 13 million a coin by the year 2045. And what I tell everybody is every Bitcoin you don't buy today is going to cost you $13 million in the future.
Michael Saylor, giving us a lot to think about this morning. We appreciate you joining us on this Friday morning. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
This is the greatest wealth transfer in human history. And if you're not in, you're going to get left behind. That goes for nation states as well. Don't believe me? Watch this.
Our assumptions, well, Bitcoin's currently 22 basis points of the global economy. That's $2 trillion. Over 20 years, right now it's been growing about 60% a year. If it decelerates from 60% a year to 20% a year, the average return is going to be 29% a year over the 20 years. That is the base case. That arrives at a price of $13 million a Bitcoin in USD terms, or $280 trillion in the network. Does the world turn upside down? No. What happens? Well, everything pretty much stays the same, except for those that embrace Bitcoin get rich and powerful. Those that don't embrace Bitcoin get weaker and poorer. Otherwise, everything that you see in the world today will still be there in the world in 20 years.
Spoiler alert. Other governments know this too. For years, we've said that Bitcoin is inevitable. And guess what? The US government is stacking. A new report just dropped that half a dozen members of Trump's own cabinet hold millions in Bitcoin. HHS Secretary RFK Jr. has 5 million in Bitcoin. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he's a Bitcoin ETF investor, and this guy understands economic war games. As soon as I knew that he was put there, if you understand his pedigree and the people he studied under, you can see where he could take things with Bitcoin. Not to mention Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, he owns Bitcoin directly, and DNI Tulsi Gabbard, Bitwise Bitcoin ETF holder, but wait, it gets better. Hey, if you've been following us, you already know, but at the first of its kind White House Bitcoin Summit, Trump literally said, "I will make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world." And he wasn't just talking. He signed an executive order creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Yeah, you heard that right. The US government is going into Bitcoin bigly. And guess who else is watching? The world. This was foretold. The global Bitcoin arms race has begun. We are in the early stages of the global hash war. We're going to show you the old prediction, what's happening, and not to mention the EU stealing their own people's savings. These are mad times we're living in. Mad times. But before we bring it home, look at our likes.
But you can't do this to me. You know how much I sacrificed?
Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pamp by sharing the Sound Money Gospel while we take a moment to recognize our sponsors. Bitcoin self-custody has never been more important. That is the revolution. And if you don't want your savings stolen by Ursula von der Leyen and the EU, you're going to want to check out the Bitcoin way. If you're looking to learn how to Bitcoin, how to properly secure your Bitcoin, you might want to head on over to the newly revamped Bitcoin Way website where you can begin your road to Bitcoin sovereignty today. If you're looking to schedule a free 30-minute consultation, go ahead and use that link below in the show notes. Are you absolutely sick of explaining why taxation and money printing are theft to people who just don't care? Well, all your lonely days are gone, my friends, with the Orange Pill app. You can stack friends who stack sats. It's the ultimate hub to connect with fellow Bitcoiners, find meetups, and discover every Bitcoin conference happening near you and across the country. Oh, and just in, the Orange Pill app Lightning Wallet is live. You can send and receive Bitcoin at the speed of lightning, baby. No setup, no limits, just pure sats and freedom. Zap to usernames, Lightning URLs, Lightning Network addresses. You can pay invoices. Bitcoin is better with friends. And now you can zap them instantly, all in one app. What are you waiting for? Download the Orange Pill app today and start meeting your laser-eyed brothers and sisters in the real world. Zap your friends, your favorite Bitcoiners, and Bitcoin companies, and who knows? The connections you make could last a lifetime. This is Bitcoin game theory in real time. The US just launched the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. Deutsche Bank says this move could set global standards, and more nations are now signing up to buy Bitcoin. And here's the real signal. Bitcoin Act, a bill to buy 1 million BTC, is under consideration in Congress right now. Do you get what's happening? This is the Bitcoin gold rush. And while America is racing to stack sats, the EU is doing the exact opposite. The European Union just announced a plan to steal private savings to fund their war machine and digital panopticon. Check out this tweet from good old Ursula von der Leyen. Great name. She resembles her, actually. We'll turn private savings into much needed investment. Excuse me? That's straight up theft. They are literally telling you they're coming for your money to fund their digital prison. And this is why Bitcoin exists. This is why hyperinflation is coming. And this is why Bitcoin is the last exit.
It's a matter that needs to be agreed at a global level because, if there is an escape, that escape will be used. So I think it needs to be if anything, it shows that global cooperation, multilateral action is absolutely needed, whether it's initiated by the G7, moved into the G20, and then enlarged, but it's something that needs to be addressed. And FATF is clearly an organization that has expanded in that respect.
We know how the currency war ends, and it's because in a game of monetary Darwinism, Bitcoin crushes everything. Now check this out from 2022. Did I front-ran Lowry? No, I don't know. Kind of a soft war for the highly regarded, but here it is. The battle that is taking place right now that is being demonstrated by the US and the EU. Where Bitcoin fits in the geopolitical landscape. This is Bitcoin game theory and it's currently playing out right in front of the world. Everyone. Any country, state, city, central bank, commercial bank, corporation, NGO, and individual will ultimately be obliged to accept Bitcoin, since those who do not would be significantly disadvantaged compared to their competitors or opponents. In this way, Bitcoin game theory is similar to encryption. However, governments despise strong encryption because it reduces their capacity to capture and snoop, limiting their authority. As a result, some countries, we can see this in the EU, have attempted to outlaw encryption, and the United States has considered legislation requiring encryption software makers to add backdoors. All such initiatives have primarily failed because encryption provides sovereign nations and their economy with significant strategic benefits, making them more resilient to outside interference. All this being equal, no government or economy that refuses to use encryption or requires backdoors that adversaries may exploit can contend with the state that ultimately secures its economy with effective encryption. This characteristic, the desire to seek one's own benefit, has assured encryption's widespread and rapid adoption across the world. Likewise, game theory principles will ensure Bitcoin's broad adoption in the near future. Oh, looky there! Governments will not outlaw Bitcoin, nor will they want to tax it to oblivion. Instead, they will search for methods to encourage and support its use inside their borders in the future. Its strategic importance is enormous. The significant barrier to widespread corporate adoption is an absence of, quote, regulatory certainty. I think we've cleared that up recently, and governments are aware of this, and the United States and Russia have pledged to provide regulatory certainty and clarity as quickly as possible. We've got news on both of those now. Major since this was written in 2022. But this is where we are. The Bitcoin arms race has begun, and it's going to be a hot topic for the next decade. The countries who win this race will be the leading powers in the bright orange future. Game on. Hey, not too shabby, but you know, we've also seen some of what's happening right now before. Just look at Weimar Germany. When their currency collapsed, gold skyrocketed, and it became hyper volatile. And the same thing is happening right now with Bitcoin. Look at this chart and the amount of days Bitcoin has spent between different prices. And you can kind of see where this is going. This is why Jack Mallers says Bitcoin is heading to hundreds of trillions in market cap.
Humans own about $900 trillion worth of stuff right now. That's currency, real estate, art, collectibles, precious metals like gold, right? $900 trillion worth of stuff. It's estimated that about half of that is monetized, meaning they own the stuff, they own the house, they own the art, they own the precious metal, not to consume it, not to live in the house, not to look at the art and be like, oh, I love this art, but because they're trying to store wealth, they're trying to preserve value, they're going to sell it later. So that means the market opportunity to store wealth, store value, persist value you create for the world today and bring it to tomorrow is about $400 to $500 trillion. And that is where product market fit and extreme demand is from Larry Fink, from the bond market, from the treasury market, from retail consumers, from those living paycheck to paycheck. That's the product market we see in Strike. And the payment stuff, I would say less so. So when people say, can Bitcoin go higher than 100K? Well, the way I think about it is right now, Bitcoin's about $1.5 trillion in market cap. It's going after a $400 to $500 trillion opportunity. And that's in purchasing power terms. So in dollar terms, that'll go up as the currency weakens. So I think Bitcoin still has a 400 to 500x left in it. And we see that as a company. We onboard institutions, businesses, retail. We support the dollar, the pound, the euro. So we see the same demand globally, the same growth prospects globally. And that's where the product market fit is for us. I think Bitcoin's going to grow to hundreds of trillions of dollars in market cap. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity for all of us to share in that.
And Saylor agrees. He's saying $13 million Bitcoin by 2045. The Bitcoin Act is in Congress right now. This is the Hyper-Bitcoinization event. Are you ready? Well, we may not have a choice, so strap in and get ready for the ride of a lifetime. And don't forget to get your tickets to Mining Disrupt 2025. It's coming in hot. The biggest Bitcoin mining conference on the planet, and it's coming to Fort Lauderdale, March 25th through the 27th. Get your tickets today and join thousands of Bitcoin mining professionals and enthusiasts from around the globe for an electrifying experience at Mining Disrupt. See the latest cutting-edge hardware, products, and services that are revolutionizing the Bitcoin mining industry. For over half a decade, Mining Disrupt has been the premier conference and expo exclusively dedicated to Bitcoin mining. Be part of the future and join the movement that's shaping the world of Bitcoin mining. Don't miss out. Head over to miningdisrupt.com and get your tickets today. Use promo code SimplyBitcoin for 20% off. Oh, and the Simply Bitcoin news desk gonna be on site. I'm gonna be there. Nico and Opti are gonna be there holding it down, and we hope to see you there as well. We are living through the greatest financial shift in human history. America is stockpiling Bitcoin while the EU is stealing savings. Dystopia or Valhalla, you choose. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pep. Stack sats, stay humble, and don't forget to set those notifications for the best in Bitcoin delivered to you daily. A lot of good stuff coming your way from Dante and Nico, so keep your head on a swivel. Hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll catch you next time. Love you guys. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, fuck you.